All right, master planned communities. What does that mean? What are they? Will you like it? Will you not? Are they for you or not? Let's get into it. I'm Sam, and this is the Living in Tampa channel, and we make these videos for you about what it's like to live and move to the whole Tampa area. We're also a team of realtors here in the area, and we'd love a chance to earn your real estate business. So give us a call, text, or email anytime. After you reach out, what we'll do is we'll set up a Zoom call or a phone call. We'll just kind of talk through the process and see how we can best help you. Okay, master planned communities, of course, have gotten really popular, especially ones like this. This is Angeline. Not much going on yet. This is the active adult community clubhouse. It's a cool area. We sold a couple houses in this specific active adult collection. It's just a fancy way of saying 55 plus. D.R. Horton and Lennar are building townhouses, and then they're gonna develop the land for more single family homes and build the lagoon. There's gonna be a big, freshwater lagoon at this one, just like at a lot of them lately. And starting off with the lagoon, I wanna talk through kind of why people choose these neighborhoods. And number one is the amenities. Things like the lagoon, there's a farm to table kind of restaurant farm thing where even like as a resident, you can go get a little plot in the garden and plant some of your own stuff. It's pretty cool. But just like in some of the other communities like Epperson and Marata and South Shore Bay, now there's a new one going in Parrish where they have these big lagoons. These are giant pools with beach entries, with activities, with big, obstacle courses, with a swim up bar, with little kayak areas. They're really cool. On top of the lagoon, there's often trails to these neighborhoods. There's maybe a library, maybe an elementary school, all right here within the same neighborhood. She doesn't want to be on camera. So one of our clients that moved into Epperson, one of the biggest things for them was just having access to community events, to other things like that. And they love it out there. They love it. They actually bought a townhouse out there. Now they're looking for a single family home out there because they just had their second kid. So number one was amenities. And those are just some of the amenities. Now it depends like really what you want, and we can find it. The next reason people choose these areas is because of new construction. People want new construction, people want a brand new house, people want that brand new feel. They want to choose some of the finishes, and they want to think like, okay, I'm gonna live in this house and I'm gonna live in it forever, or I really want something fresh and new, kind of one way or the other. Also with new construction, there's often incentives, especially right now, to get a bit of a lower interest rate. Super valuable for a lot of you. Those are often called discount points, and it's just a total amount that you can use to buy down your interest rate or pay your closing costs or pay for upgrades, things like that. The next thing is kind of that resort feeling that people want, especially in Florida, whether that's the gate and the palm trees and the big circle drive entrance, or roundabouts. These places have these big roundabouts with big waterfall features in the middle and really cool entrances. Feels like a resort. Or it's the amenities, or it's just kind of everything combined into that. It has a very resort feel. Even one of the neighborhoods, Marata, they kind of use that as their promotion, like your home staycation kind of a thing. They're really kind of going after that feel. And finally, number four is the community feel. Just like I mentioned, those clients in Epperson, a lot of people are moving here and wanting to make new friends and make a new community. A neighborhood like this, these master plan developments really do make that possible. So whether you're a family looking for more families, or you're a retiree looking for new pickleball partners, there's a lot of options. And of course, I'm gonna throw out a pickleball reference. It's super popular right now. But even in like a neighborhood like Starkey Ranch, we have a listing right now in the Esplanade, like the gated section of Starkey Ranch, where the amenities are a little different than the rest of the neighborhood. They have their own gated entrance to their section. They pay additional fees to have all the landscaping done, to have all that maintenance done for them. And they have their own amenity center where they have private pickleball courts and a pool and a gym, and for just that collection of 300-400 homes. So none of that stuff gets used as much. There's not as much activity, but our client that's selling his house there, that's one of the things he's gonna miss, is that community. He's like, no, I literally play pickleball with these guys every single night. So you can definitely find that feel in these communities, and a lot of you are looking for that. Okay, biggest downsides real quick. Number one is cost. So I've thrown out a couple like HOA fees and stuff like that. Yeah, there's gonna be HOA fees at these kind of places, but there's also going to be another fee, the CDD tax. Community Development District. This is, debt, a bond that's taken on by the developer to develop the area. Sidewalks, roads, stormwater management, electric, plumbing, all those kind of things has to be developed in these new areas when they're just blank land. That development is very expensive, and the payment of that gets passed on to you as a resident of these areas. So that's why in some areas like New Tampa or Westchase that were mostly developed in like 1999, 2000, 2001, you look at their CDDs and they're quite a bit lower. They're maybe, $800 to $1,200 a year. But you look at a newer neighborhood like Starkey Ranch, they're $3,200 a year. The value of the dollar has changed, all these kind of things, but it's also just bigger, nicer, all those kind of things. So that CDD gets paid off eventually. It typically takes 30 years, sometimes a little bit faster. Sometimes they need to extend it to do something to those kind of services like the roads. So that downside was kind of like hidden costs. Now, home prices aren't always higher in these neighborhoods. Yeah, they're pretty standard. There's some of these neighborhoods like Starkey Ranch where it just is a little bit more competitive, not like bidding war kind of competitive, but not like where you can just go in and make low offers. Okay, another downside is distance. So Angeline, where I am right now, is in Land O'Lakes on the far north side of Land O'Lakes. Just out that way is Highway 52. It's pretty far north in Pasco County. But over this way is the Veterans Expressway, 589, that goes right down to the airport. Really easy access. So even though they're sometimes further out, they're thinking about that commute distance or thinking about those kind of things, but it still is a distance. If you needed to commute to downtown Tampa, it's gonna take you 45 minutes every day. Now, that might not seem crazy to you, but I don't wanna be stuck on the road. I don't wanna be away from my kids for 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back. I'm thinking about those kind of things. But if you're comfortable with that, there are specific communities that have really good access into Tampa, into St. Petersburg, into kind of job centers. Okay, let's check out the progress on Angeline a little bit. They're not doing much yet. One of our clients was like, hey, should I buy an Angeline? I don't know if I'm gonna get the amenities because they're not building very fast. So let's check it out. So this is the Lennar Active Adult Community. This is specifically their amenity center. They're starting to develop some, roads through here, but it's still pretty much under construction is the feel you get. Once you get into the active adult community a bit further, it's not gated or anything, but it's very obvious that once you're in it. All these homes are very uniform, kind of this like Key West, Tuscan, stucco kind of style. They're nice. I'm not always a huge fan of Lennar as a builder, but I've also seen some neighborhoods they build that are really nice, and this is one of them. Some of the others are typically their higher end developments like WCI. So just as a note about Masterplanned stuff, you can see the landscaping, sidewalks, every roof is clay tiles. Every driveway has pavers. Some of these communities are very particular about those kind of things. Here are some of the spots where they're gonna build more townhouses. We'll drive through some in progress and some that are already built. These D.R. Horton townhouses are around $300,000. If you remember the last video I shot out here, I was riding my one wheel on this road. Somebody kicked me out, told me I had to go back. They told me I went through like a road closed sign. I didn't. I just was on the trail and it didn't say on the trail. And I ended up on this road and they're like, you can't be out here. they have this section in between Angeline and like what will be a more commercial area where there's a school and there's gonna be some like shopping and stuff. They call it the Eco Corridor. It's like 834 acres. All of this land used to be owned by the Bexley family. Then they sold that to one developer, Newland, who built the Bexley neighborhood. And then Newland sold some of it to Metro developers, and they're building Angeline. This is the drive up to the school, and even everything along here, has a pretty manicured feel, even with more woods around it. And they're gonna keep a lot of this as preserve land. They'll have the eco boundary, but they'll also have like a state park. The Angeline Preserve will be a state park that you can go and walk on the trails and stuff like that. There'll be a lake out there. It's really beautiful country out here. Here is the Angeline Angeline Academy of Innovation. It says Pasco E-School. I don't really know what that means. So that's just a little overview of what master plan communities are. Some of the pros and cons, if they're right for you. If they're not, we still want to hear from you. Give us a call, text, or email anytime. And we'd love to connect and see how we can best help. Thanks for coming by.